My name is Jacqueline, as already said, and I'm a Berlin-based design researcher and experience designer and the founder of Juwl. Well, the ambitious space program of the United States and the former Soviet Union triggered a wish quite trivial in comparison to rocket science, a picture of the whole planet Earth. In 1968, there it was. This picture lost nothing of its magic today and influenced generations, raising a new consciousness for our planet. One picture changed how we perceive our world. Sorry. Well, since then, a lot happened. With Google Earth, we can zoom from a total view down to an old man having lunch with his alpaca on the street. We can now interact with complex 3D models, but which are, sad to say, mostly glued to a two-dimensional screen. And this is what the VR and AR industry is going to change, or already has been changed. This tiny plastic pyramid seems to be quite trivial as well. But like the picture of our Earth, it creates a magic moment that is much more than its technical ingenuity. A holographic illusion with Pepper's ghost principle is nothing new, but we transferred this technique into the present. With Juwl, that's how we call it, you can not only free the image from the 2D screen, you can literally grab it and change its appearance. And this again has the potential to change the way we interact with our world. It's a huge user experience difference and becomes truly fascinating when the screen doesn't just remain a reflective surface like in existing solutions, but when all the possibilities touch device came to have are exploited. By moving the pyramid over the touch device, the user can manipulate the hologram in real time. We already tested adaptation of color, shape, size, or even combinations of it. In this example, you can change the complexity of the structure by moving it in this direction, and zoom in and zoom out by moving it in this direction. And we are really looking forward into even program more complex kind of interactions. Or imagine we are using those on large touch tables. It's also possible to interact with 2 or more pyramids at the same time, which are enclosed deep into each other. The movement of those morphing liquids is connected to the position of the pyramid on the tablet. So they are reacting to each other. Well, what do we need to create this illusion? Everything you need is a Juwl pyramid and any touch device connected to the internet. No additional app is needed since we developed an in-browser application, which allows us to easily integrate it into existing websites and to have a really low threshold for customers, because it's basically only a website you have to open, like a link you click on. The browser is the place where the 3D models are live rendered. Of course, we can also work with 2D images, but what's really interesting about 3D models, as you all know, that you can render them from different sides to really get the spatial impression of the object. Where can you use it for? We, for example, envision Juwl as a product configurator for trade shows or showrooms or online shopping. Imagine you're online shopping, and with this interactive configurator, you can change the color of the shoe or parts of it and personalize your own product. Or as a digital extension for books and games. Imagine you're reading a comic book, and by scanning QR codes throughout the story or working with other 2D recognition software, you can bring your favorite character to life and interact with them. Maybe you have a little fight between Iron Man and someone else. And we would also love to use it as an educational tool for exhibition, museum, or maybe even schools. Imagine next time you're going to a museum, you will get one of those at the entrance instead of your entry ticket, and then you can have a walk with the artist talking about his artwork. And of course, you can also use it for advertising. Therefore, we developed a DIY kit which comes flat as a die-cut sheet, so it's perfectly for mailing and product supplement, but it can be easily built up in a few steps. And it can, of course, it can be customized with logo, QR code, etc. Another application we built is the so-called Holomat. It's a new take on the traditional photo booth. Instead of one single picture, it takes 4 pictures at the same time from different angles to create a spatial portrait. And then sent via email, the customer can explore his own portrait on his own smartphone together with a Juwl DIY kit. In the near future, it will be possible as well to send small holographic video messages, like Princess Leia. And we already tested this on Republica and Cebit this year, and it was a big success. Here you can see the queue in front of the Holomat at Cebit, and people were waiting in line like for 20 minutes to make their own portrait, and they keep coming back next day to make another portrait because they didn't like the way the hair looked or something. And at the end, I want to share a little experiment with you we're working on, which is not a ready-made product yet. So talking about sending video messages, the next step would be to have some kind of a holo presence. So to have this live stream, and you can really interact with the person who is there as a hologram. So this is a little setup we made for a workshop where the host of the workshop was actually not in the room, but in another building. But you could interact with her because she was seeing and hearing what's going on in the space. And the people there were really surprised at first because they thought it was only a video stream.
Kopf hast.
Ja, sieht schon gut aus. Ja. So there we were checking the costume for the workshop.
Und wenn wir jetzt hinten drauf noch ein paar Augen kleben. Und das Gesicht dann weiß schminken. Mhm. Ja. Und die weißen auch.
Well, those visualizations are just some early examples. I think there are endless possibilities which needs to be discovered. For that, Juwl is more than just a product. We want to define new approaches how to interact with information in space, analog and digital. We are interested in, of course, I guess like everyone here, how to interact with 3D content in a real-life environment, but also how to raise the quality of interaction for already existing technology, like existing touchpads. And most important, how can we interweave the digital and the physical experience? And as we all know, science fiction is always 10 steps ahead. But maybe someday we will be able to fly to the moon or even beam to the moon by ourselves and see the Earth rise with our own eyes. I don't know how long that's going to take, but until then, I want to invite you to enjoy Juwl and to answer those questions and discuss those questions with me. Thank you very much.